Okay, well, let's take a look at our focus report now. It brings us to India, where traditional councils made up of village elders have no judicial power, but they do wield massive influence in their local communities. It's a role, however, that's being debated yet again in the light of a tragic case. In early May, in the north of the country, a 16-year-old girl approached the council to complain about being raped. The men were fined, but then they went on to kill her. The case made the national headlines, revealing once again how local councils can complicate, really, the road to justice. Our reporters Philomene Remy and Mandakini Gallo send us this.
Only 14 families live in this tiny hamlet in the North Indian state of JHARKHAND. The calm of the village lanes is broken by the cries of this grieving family. Her 16-year-old daughter was burnt alive in this house. After 2 men sexually assaulted her daughter in early May, the family sought justice from the Panchayat, a local council of village elders.
My daughter said that 2 men came at night, they kidnapped and raped her. The Panchayat told me to go back home while they made a decision. Then they asked the 2 men to explain what happened.
After the men confessed, the Panchayat sentenced them to 100 sit-ups and a fine of 600 euros. Even this mild punishment angered the accused, and a few days later they set the young girl on fire. The news made national headlines and revived the debate about the legitimacy of such village councils.
Settle the matter by imposing a fine of
16 years old is born.
18 people were arrested, including members of the Panchayat, for their role in obstructing justice. In India, Panchayats are traditional community councils with no judicial powers. But with limited police presence in most villages, the responsibility to maintain law and order often falls in the hands of such councils. In a neighboring village, we are allowed to attend a Panchayat meeting. They generally discuss issues like access to water and toilets, and also hear land disputes and quarrels amongst locals. Today, 2 parties presented their argument and a verdict was delivered.
This is settled. Whoever discusses it will be fined.
On an average, the Panchayat chief handles nearly 20 cases per month.
If people go to court, they will have to pay lawyers' fees and the trial will be lengthy. So they prefer to come to us because in the Panchayat system, a case can be settled in 2 to 4 hours. The Panchayat chiefs are like gods who issue a verdict to the best of their abilities.
Their decisions are often patriarchal. In another village in the state of Haryana, the local Panchayat has reportedly prohibited young girls from wearing jeans or using mobile phones.
Girls should wear traditional clothes that reflect our culture. And they use mobile phones in a wrong way. So we have decided that children are not allowed to carry and use mobile phones.
Shocked by this moral policing, young girls in the village are determined to resist.
Are these people mad? In the 21st century, they're talking like this. What women should do, what they should wear. It shouldn't be like this. Whatever women feel like doing, they should do. It's their life.
Comprised mainly of men from the upper caste, the Panchayats often fail in delivering justice to women and members of the lower caste. But in the same state, women like SHAHNAAZ are challenging the status quo. This young doctor is also the chief of her local Panchayat.
From 8 in the morning until 2 p.m, I see patients. And after that, I deal with village matters. It's hectic, but I love it.
Today, she has called a meeting with the village women.
For those who don't know, the pension for widows has increased. If you don't get the revised amount, please give your details to my secretary and we will get it resolved.
She hopes attitudes will evolve over time and women will play a greater role in panchayats.
The panchayats are not all in favour of women. They are focused on their own development and women's issues are not a priority. So the women and youth should work together to reform the system.
Deeply engraved in the history of rural India, the country's 3 million panchayats are unlikely to disappear. But including more women in these councils could help shatter the silence around sexual assault in Indian villages.